Good morning and welcome to the first episode of Hollywood Headlines. I'm your host, Mia Borselli, and today I have a very special guest with me, Slick.
How you doing? How you guys doing today? You guys can't see me yet, but it's very nice morning.
Yes.
This Friday's been really goofy because I've been really slow, but
Yeah.
what's up with the headlines?
Yeah, we're getting ready. So I had to ask Slick to join me today because he is a fellow celebrity gossip fan,
Facts.
as am I.
Correct.
We were already getting into talking a little bit about Beyonce, about all this Kanye West drama. I think there's a lot going on in the world right now. So there's so much to talk about when it comes to celebrity gossip. And I think it's just a good time to talk about this stuff too, because right now in the world, there's so much going on with the pandemic, with protests, a possible hurricane. I think it's nice to take the pressure off of that for a little bit. And we're going to just focus on something more fun, some entertainment, and just have a good time.
We are definitely we are because we're gonna start out. I don't even know. I don't want to step over any toes because it's not my show.
We already are excited about some topics. So I think the two big things going on that we are definitely going to have to get into a lot is, of course, the Kanye West and Kim Kardashian stuff. And then, of course, the Ellen DeGeneres and her executive producers problems she's going through being in investigation. I think we could hold off on that for a little bit, though, and talk about some of the small stories going on right now. I know you said that Beyonce just came up with her new visual album. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I haven't listened to it yet, but I say Twitterverse because basically I'm usually on Twitter.
Yeah.
And basically the Twitterverse is telling me that she put her daughter Blue Ivy in the album. And her whole visual album is basically, it's called Black is King, and who else can shut it down but Beyonce?
Oh yeah.
And she got
I definitely can't wait for that.
She has a bunch of red and yellow in it's amazing. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be listening to that this weekend.
Yeah, it's funny you said Beyonce because even on my way here, if I am ever trying to feel like a boss ass lady, I listen to Beyonce. On my way here, she just gets your confidence up. There's something about Queen Bee that is just so special.
I'm telling you, you get information with Queen Bee.
Yes.
I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, or I don't care your sexual orientation. I feel like Beyonce, for some reason, she always hits the correct spot or the correct chord.
She really is. So not only her having a new album this week, Taylor Swift came up with a new album called Folklore, which was being talked about all over Instagram, Twitter. So I did have to go listen. It's a really interesting album. She wrote it during the pandemic, and she wrote it also about herself, but a lot of fictional characters. And some of the characters have some kind of base from history. Like this one woman that she wrote about was this crazy woman that used to live in a mansion. Just really interesting stories. So this new album is pretty cool.
I might listen to it because it's shocking. I can't say it's shocking, but 1989 is one of my good albums that I always go back to.
I love Taylor Swift and I'll listen to anything she does. But she actually was under fire for her new album because of the name, the Folklore. Amira Kasul is a black designer whose brand name is the Folklore. So basically, that happens a lot. They were trying to cancel Taylor Swift with all these posts saying that Taylor Swift stole the name, that she can't come up with an original name, and was trying to basically saying this black designer was she's trying to
Swagger
whitewash.
Swagger Jack. No, she wasn't. I'm pretty sure she probably was she probably thought it through with I wouldn't know how she deliberates with making music and making albums. She probably thought it through. She wasn't.
There's so many brand names already. I'm sure it's hard to figure out all of them, but Taylor Swift had to change all of her merchandise that was going out to people. She spent probably thousands upon thousands of dollars to have all that merchandise taken back and change the name and publicly apologize. So Taylor Swift did it right. She quickly shut down the haters and was like, no, I'll just fix everything.
That's good.
So that's already cleared up, guys. Don't worry. Taylor Swift is not whitewashing anyone. She's okay.
She's creating a new wave that I am going to be trying to sample because, music Music is the universal language.
The new album's interesting. It reminds me of like a pandemic kind of thing because it's just really like lonely and like very like whimsical. She wrote it like in her house. So
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So next we have Jessica Simpson. Have you heard about any of this?
Not at all. You got to fill me in.
So Jessica Simpson in January came up with a memoir that is called Open Book. So basically she opened up about sexual abuse she experienced as a child. It was when she was the age of 6. She was sexually abused by a family friend who was a girl who was also being sexually abused. And she claims that her parents kind of dismissed the topic and it was never really addressed. And in 2017, Jessica Simpson finally, I guess, stopped using drugs and alcohol to cope with her past of abuse, and she wrote this memoir about it. So she's finally kind of opening up about it. She was just talking about how she confronted the situation and confronted the abuser. I think it's pretty cool that she's doing that too, because she's just opening it up for so many other people who have had sexual abuse.
Seriously, because a lot of people need to talk about it. And the fact that she is, overly exposing herself, even though she didn't need to, but that's nice.
It's crazy because she's just, no one ever would have known anything like that. You just think, oh, she's so lucky. She's a beautiful girl.
Correct.
She has $1 billion company that she's worth with her like beauty products and all this stuff. So like she's just doing it to try and make a difference. She didn't need to go public with it, but she's just trying to make other people feel comfortable to share their story. And I thought that was really cool.
That's good. I mean, everybody should stand up for like if anything does happen like that to you, and the fact that she's being like a pillar to this to our community, that's good for Jessica.
I thought she's a role model for doing that and for standing up and talking about it. She didn't have to tell the whole world, but she decided to. Ooh, another really cool story that I was interested in. I'm sure you would be interested. So Oprah Winfrey this week put Breonna Taylor on the cover of her magazine, which has never been done before in 20 years.
That's good.
It has always been Oprah on the cover. But she took a picture of Breonna Taylor that was actually a selfie, and an artist remade it and put her on the cover to spread awareness that the Breonna Taylor stuff has still not been solved.
Still.
If you don't know who Breonna Taylor is, I'll give like a small little backstory. So she was a 26-year-old EMT who was shot and killed in her home in Kentucky by 3 police officers. She was shot 8 times for them breaking in for whatever reason. I believe it was the wrong house.
Correct.
But they broke in and her boyfriend shot at them thinking that they were intruders and then ended up killing Breonna Taylor. So Breonna's law was made in her honor, but none of the police officers have been charged yet. They're still
opening the case though, but like I just realized they went back into the case yesterday, someone said, but investigation's still open, but none of these police officers have been charged, but they will be.
They will be.
Sooner or later.
With people like Oprah on her side.
Seriously.
We got this. Oprah's not going to let this go. Neither should we.
Seriously.
So I thought that was pretty awesome that she's doing that for her. And she also posted about it on her Instagram. And yeah, I love Oprah. I always will.
No, Oprah's like a success story. Like she used to talk about the whole fact of like how she used to came up, and she's like she used to walk on roads, like dirt roads with no shoes, and now look at Oprah, she's like a staple.
Yeah, she had a rough childhood, I know for sure. And I grew up watching her show. I wish it was still on the air, her talk show.
You get a card. I'm telling you, I wish I was in a part of the audience. Oh my God.
Well, she also talked about so many things that nobody was talking about at that time. She was having like child molesters on talking about like what goes through their head, like things that nobody was doing, she was doing.
Correct.
She is a trailblazer, and I love her for doing that with Breonna Taylor. So I'm saving the 2 large stories. I have a couple more little stories that I thought were interesting. Did you hear about Kylie Jenner gifting her daughter Stormi a $200,000 pony?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because like what is it? Travis Scott, he's kind of, when it comes to like spending, and I don't know about Kylie when it comes to spending, but I do follow Travis, and Travis had just bought like a $23.5 million panoramic view home.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised they did bought it.
I'm just like, the daughter is literally, Stormy is 2 years old, and you're buying her a pony. She can't go on that pony. She can't even walk.
Yet.
That's what makes me mad is I'm like, give me the pony. I could use it.
Give her like one of those, those cars that, majority of, but, she wanted a pony.
She could have a stuffed pony and literally be riding the little stuffed pony like a rocking chair. She doesn't need this whole thing.
It's not good for Stormy. She wanted Stormy to that's crazy.
I just think it's crazy that this daughter was just gifted something that's like worth more than me.
She probably was shocked. No, she probably don't say that. But she probably was shocked when she's like, is this real, Mom? Like,
she's 2. I don't think she even has any thought process about it. She probably just is like, what is it? But it is really
it's moving.
cute. Yeah. It is named Frozen, and it's from the Netherlands. But apparently, it's an investment. At first, I was like, this is insane. But apparently, if you get the ponies when they're really young, it's going to like grow up with Stormy. And one day, it could be worth $500,000, this pony.
Oh, so, okay.
So she's investing.
It's an asset, guys.
But still, I'm like, $200,000 for a 2-year-old.
I'm telling you.
I wish I was Stormy. That's all I know.
just throw more. That's crazy. $200,000
Pretty
for
crazy.
That's more than the majority of cars nowadays, guys.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. And she doesn't know how to ride it yet.
She also has like 1 billion cars. None for Stormy yet, but she has 1 billion cars. So, this one's a little sad, but.
What's going on?
The Naya Rivera situation, she was finally laid to rest after 2 weeks. She died, of course, if you know that story, Naya Rivera drowned in Lake Piru 2 weeks ago, and it took about 5 days to find her body. She was there with her son, Josie, who's 4 years old. He said that he claimed that she didn't have a life jacket on, and she hoisted him back onto the boat, I guess, when the water got crazy, and he watched her go under the water and never return. So it's pretty insane.
That's crazy. Yeah, that whole situation was like, for me, or like I don't know about for everybody, but for me, like they try to spin the story like everybody's looking for her, but they try to spin the story and they try to blame like people that was a part of Naira's life, like Big Sean, and I'm like. I know everybody heard the song that Big Sean made. Yeah. That was very I mean, I can't say insensitive at the time, but
it came out during that?
No, it came out like after they broke up, that I Don't.
Yeah.
That song, and then they tried to say Big Sean should take the song down. He should have never wrote the song about her. Now she's now she's dead and gone. But I'm like, she went on to, I forgot what show it was. It was like a lip singing song.
Yeah.
And she sung the song. So I'm pretty sure they squashed the beef, guys.
That's so funny. I didn't even know. I knew they dated, but I didn't know that song was supposed to be about
Yeah,
her.
I was shocked. And then I seen the video clip of her singing the song. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're cool right now.
Yeah.
Even though, feelings get hurt, but
yeah.
Sad for Naira.
She was single at the time of her dying, but I know that Big Sean made a tribute to her, as well as her ex-husband Ryan Dorsey, who now has to raise their son by himself, which is really sad. But I loved her, and I'm still really upset about it.
It's terrible.
But I'm glad that they at least recovered her and that she got to have a proper burial with her family and friends like anyone deserves. So at least there's that, and at least she was found. Mm-hmm. So now we got to get into the real tea. Why we're all here today.
Big ones, yes.
Let's start with not Kim Kardashian. Let's talk about Kanye West. He's the real situation here.
No, seriously.
So how do you feel about this whole situation going on with Kanye West?
I feel like Kanye mentally is not there. I felt like he was never there since Yeezus, when he dropped the Yeezus album. And then the fact that he he kind of made someone cry, and then they caught it. He kind of made Kim cry, and they caught it. And I'm like, why are you yelling at her? And then he's just Kanye's a little all over the place. I don't know where his head's from or where his head's going. If he's going to a political campaign, I don't know who's he's endorsing. He's been around Trump and he's been around these weird type of people. It's to the point that I feel like even when he gets around people like a Jay-Z or a Beyonce, I don't really think they're really friends, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
You
but
think it's just for show?
I think it's just for show, like for them just to say they're cordial or for them to say that they're the bigger person, that they will you know, be okay with Kanye.
I saw he was hanging out with like Dave Chappelle and he was like, "You're a true friend, Dave Chappelle." But I didn't see Jay-Z or Beyonce visiting him at his ranch. So
yeah, no, true, because it's like I feel like Dave Chappelle was probably getting like comedic skits or, you know, because Dave Chappelle's a good comedian, but I feel
Dave
like
Chappelle.
Yeah,
he's so cool.
But I feel like Kanye,
yeah,
you need to take a break from everything.
Really insane.
Yeah.
So if anyone doesn't know what's going on with the Kanye West, I'll give a small synopsis. So basically, Kanye West has been saying he was going to run for presidency. He had a small campaign rally, and at this rally, he explained way too much personal details about his life with Kim Kardashian.
Yep.
He spoke about
his
that
daughter.
They contemplated aborting his first daughter, which of course is
Crazy.
not something you would say in a presidential rally, first of all.
Said he's a lunatic.
He let his emotions go very high.
Mm-hmm.
He cried.
Mm-hmm.
Then worse than that, he took to Twitter after and was calling his family. Some of the things he tweeted was Chris Jong-un, his who is his mother-in-law. He tweeted that they're trying to lock him up. He talked about Kris Jenner being a bad parent, and he also claimed that the movie Get Out is about him. And if you haven't seen the movie Get Out,
yeah,
that's like the biggest insult ever, to say that his family is the Get Out people, because it's basically a movie about white people mind controlling these black people and taking over their bodies. I'm like, are you saying that that's what they're doing?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, he been on a downward spiral. I feel like as Kanye, he should have adhered to like the people that was around him. Especially, I'm pretty sure the Jenner Kardashian family is not like Get Out.
Yeah, I don't.
Hopefully,
it's like
they're pretty sure they're
so.
not. But I don't think like I just don't see the reason why he would like go to Twitter and he'd be like, you know, Kim, what happened? What about Meek Mill? What about other people? Drake? I'm like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Why are you spilling out these
it
dirty
was just,
laundry?
Oh yeah, the Meek Mill thing. He was
Yeah.
claiming that
She
he kind of
cheated.
said it weird. Yeah, but he claimed that she was going to a hotel with Meek Mill, apparently to talk about like her work she does. With
business ventures. And I'm pretty sure it's business ventures because it's kind of like, what do you think she was talking to Drake about? I'm pretty sure she was talking about business ventures.
But now people are kind of taking back, making fun of Kanye, because we do know that he has mental health issues and that he's suffering with bipolar disorder. Kim Kardashian even did talk a little bit about it on Instagram.
She even tweeted, about it.
Yeah, and they have like been seen talking since then. But recently, I also just heard that they haven't lived together for a whole year.
Yikes.
And he's been in Wyoming. But then also people are saying that it seems that every time he has some kind of episode like this, it happens to be right before he drops an album, which is true for this time as well.
Because he did drop a song during this whole thing with Travis Scott. But I feel like Kanye, man, you need to take a hiatus.
Yeah.
All right?
Work
on your daughters, you know, work on literally everything that you have to do to like actually get back into the motion of being an artist. Because I feel like he's a great producer. But when it comes to like political and like other stuff, like he goes nuts. But he's a great producer though.
Well, I just wonder if, because I thought I heard that he was coming up with an album like last week, he was going to drop it. But I think that people are kind of thinking maybe he's doing it to get attention for his album. But it might also be the stress of releasing, you know, new music is giving him more mental health issues.
True, because like he does do a lot, like saying like from Kanye's standpoint, like he does do fashion, all these weird business ventures, and especially going to Trump with political stuff. It's kind of like you need to take a break. Yeah. Not saying a long break, but like, you know,
you're spreading yourself too thin, Kanye.
I'm telling you,
you got 4 kids
and you're
to worry
yelling
about.
at Kim.
Yeah.
My man. I'm
What,
sorry.
you're a Kim fan?
I can't say I'm a Kim fan, but I'm like, bro, you can't be yelling at her like that. And then they just have bad shots of her. I feel like there's
crying
never
ones.
bad shots of like Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian, to be honest with you. But that shot of like her and I don't
Crying
know
at
what car.
Wendy's. Yeah, I
Come
feel
on.
bad for the situation. It's not great to have mental health problems and then be in the spotlight all the time. I'm sure it
Correct.
doesn't make it easy.
So people, they need their privacy as well.
Yeah. So maybe everyone needs to lay off Kanye a little bit. We should let him be at his ranch and just leave him alone for a
Yes.
little bit. Maybe he can come back in a couple months.
Maybe.
Hopefully not running for president this time.
No,
though.
yeah, hopefully. 2021, he's like on a new mindset. He's like very calm, very chill. Very
Maybe
copacetic.
2021. We'll
Maybe
see.
2021.
So the next big thing going on in the
Yeah.
world right now is the Ellen DeGeneres situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a couple months now of people talking about Ellen DeGeneres. I think it started with people saying that she wouldn't let you look at her in the face if you came to see her. It started with like you couldn't make eye contact. Then I heard that like if you came near her, you had to chew gum. If you smelled, she would send you home to take a shower. So that was how it started, and that was even a couple months ago. Things are kind of heating up now and like getting more like actual facts.
Like
so
traction, yeah.
Now we know that it had a lot to do with the executive producers who kind of boss the employees around at the show.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them are claiming, employees that have worked for them are claiming that there were issues with race discrimination by the executive producers. There was one woman who claimed that they basically told her like, oh, you have box braids and the other girl has box braids. She's like, they were like, I'll never be able to tell you two apart. And then she was also told on another occasion by an executive producer that they said to her that I only know white people's names. They were like, oh, I only know the white employees'
And this is not
names.
Ellen saying it, right?
It's not Ellen saying it. Now they're looking more at the executive producers. So not only are they saying that, but they're saying that not only racism, but fear and intimidation. So apparently some people are claiming that one person was fired after they returned to work after a suicide attempt. So people are like basically terrified to miss work at the Ellen show. They were making it a really like hostile work environment where you're like afraid at any moment to lose your job, which, you know, you would think the opposite for Ellen DeGeneres. You would think it's like a great environment.
Yeah, because she
safe.
dances and she knows. Ellen,
sad
for
to
a
think about
60-year-old, she's like the most inviting person. I wouldn't think Ellen would. That's crazy. Her environment is toxic.
I've always wanted to work for her too. I've always thought it must be such a great experience. But people are claiming that this employee claimed that he was fired the week after he got back from work from the hospital after a suicide attempt. And he was like, you would think that they would like, you know, be caring of the situation and be trying to make sure that like my well-being is okay before you go and fire me from my job. Another employee claimed that he was fired after he needed time off to attend a family funeral and was in a car accident. So basically, right when he got back, he was also fired. So people are also getting mad, you know, wrongful termination. So that is all stuff that is going under investigation right now. So
Change
the whole
your
company.
environment. Change your environment. That goes general because like that's nice because Ellen looks like the most warming person, and having a toxic environment, it'll lead right back to you. That's toxic.
I thought that it wasn't very good either.
Yeah.
She did just make like her apology. It was shared that she sent an email to her employees.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, all she said was that most of the things that go on are all done by senior executives, but she was like, I should have taken more responsibility. And that's basically all she said. I'm like, really? I'm like, I feel like
That's
you could have done
dry.
better.
Yeah, she could have. Yeah.
And then the
very
executive producers are saying that there are going to be changes coming into the company. And when they were asked what the changes will be, they're like, oh, we can't tell you. So no one really knows what's going on right now. All I know is the Ellen DeGeneres ratings are going to be dropping.
They might just cancel.
Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres.
We're in this new cancel culture.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
the world is in cancel culture.
Yeah, you might just get canceled.
Yeah, Ellen better come up with a better apology or it might not be good for her.
You might end up like, no, it's sad to say, like, what is it? He's not canceled, but, you know, once he said what he said on his show, Nick Cannon.
Oh yeah.
Get canceled.
Do you know what happened with that? What was the details?
Basically, the whole Nick Cannon situation was he said some like, you know, outlandish things, saying that, you know, white people, basically he's saying white people don't care about, or white people are barbaric in a way, like like black and melanin type of people, Spanish are okay. Thank you, Vinny. You're so nice. but basically, like, he was just shunning down every white person, basically calling them barbaric.
Yeah.
Not I wouldn't say in a mean way, but he was just stating the facts of like what he saw on personal testimonies. And right when he said that, whoever owned VH1 or MTV, Viacom, canceled all of his shows that same night. So Wild and Out is gone, guys. There's no more Wild and Out, and there's no more. You won't see Nick Cannon on TV unless. I don't know what will happen. Like if he does, no, he actually did an apology. But when he did the apology, saying that, oh, I'm sorry for saying the things that I said, but it was just off personal testimony. Majority of like the black culture, like I would say, the black culture canceled him because they said, why would you apologize if you're telling the truth? And he's like, I mean, he does have kids. He does have other stuff that he needs to do. So the fact that he apologized, he's being a bigger man of doing it, even though he said what he said.
Too late.
So people just can't. So he's kind of like on an island of himself, because if you check his Twitter page, he's like, you guys can have this earth. Peace out.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't mean like, you know, he's actually gonna.
It's just really scary to be famous in the world right now. We are living in what our young people are calling cancel culture. Correct. We can get you real quick. So people got to be careful
what they say.
But it's happening a lot, but it's unfortunate. But we are running out of time for today. I think we covered a lot of good stuff, though. I'm excited that I got through all of these people. We will definitely be back next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. to be giving you all the new tea of the week. So please tune in. And thank you so much, Gene, for doing this with me.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
Anytime.
Bye.